to work. P6. Go to work. P6. I'm calling in. Okay, I got the text last night. They said my unit has arrived. So it's at 8:30 in the morning currently, and I am on the way to pick up the P6. I'm so excited because I don't know what I'm gonna do first. I'm on the way to pick it up right now. All right, I'm here at Yuko. I'm picking up the P6. She's gonna be inside. She's waiting a long time. Ooh, she's beautiful. Oh my gosh. I knew I was gonna like her. So, can I confirm? This is the third batch wheel, right? So this is the first batch.
No, not first batch.
Okay, so and then I want to explain. The first batch wheel is usually the wheels with the most problems. Everybody knows this if they've been buying unicycles. Second batch, they usually pinpoint issues and figure it out. The third batch, you won't have any first batch issues. So this is, I can't wait to ride it. It does look bigger in person. I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna make a video and all this stuff, but she looks amazing, guys. So, all right, let's load her up. I'm finna go home and dress her up, put the pads on her. I got a fairing kit, because a fairing kit is like when you buy a new iPhone, you want to get a case immediately because you might drop or whatever. So I got my fairing kit, I got my seat, and I got my pads. I'm gonna put those on, and then I'm gonna make a video for you guys. All right, bye. Thanks. She's home. Hey guys, I have the P6. Package is arrived. Whew. She's here. Time to unbox. You want to help Daddy unbox it?
What's up, everybody? We have here a very iconic wheel. It's making its name around the community. The InMotion P6, and not just any InMotion P6. This is the InMotion P6 Pro. And why I say that is because this isn't the first batch. This isn't the second batch. This is the third batch. You clicked this exact video today because you are completely exhausted from spending your hard-earned money on products that are simply not finished. You are in the exact right place. We are ripping the heavy shipping tape off this brand new third batch cardboard box right now to see if they finally respected our bank accounts, listened to the community, and fixed their ridiculous early mistakes. I'm calling it a P6 Pro because by the time they figure out all first and second batch problems, it's basically a different wheel. To give an example, the Begode T4 went from T4 to T4 Pro to T4 Max. Every version upgrading externals, as well as the Master Monster and many other wheels InMotion, just went with keeping the name the same on this wheel, but this is the third and final version. I am bringing this to you because I have been personally victimized by bad hardware. On a typical afternoon, my routine consists of stretching my legs, strapping on heavy protective pads, looking like a heavily armored space turtle ready for battle, and hitting the pavement. I absolutely love riding these machines. But last year I bought a first batch wheel and spent way more time walking it home than actually riding the thing. Walking a completely dead electric unicycle feels like dragging a sleeping cow by the tail through thick mud. It is thoroughly miserable. I am taking you through the exact physical changes they made inside this specific box. We will see the hardware upgrades, test the suspension, and figure out if paying the early adopter tax is officially a scam or if waiting for the third batch is the ultimate strategy. But before we lift this 100-pound piece of heavy machinery out of the protective packaging, there is a very serious question we have to answer. By fixing all the structural weak points and changing the internal computer brains to be safer, did they accidentally ruin the raw torque and aggressive personality that made the original version so popular in the first place? We are going to find out the hard way by the end of this video. The first massive problem we need to talk about involves the weather. You spend thousands of dollars on a single wheel with a high-powered motor. You step on the side pedals, lean your body weight forward, and it flies down the street. It is beautiful, terrifying magic. But with the very first run of these specific machines, water was the ultimate enemy. There was one rider whose screen turned green. Remember that? People were out riding their very expensive gadgets, hitting one tiny puddle in the street, and suddenly the entire machine would just power off. The water was getting straight into the plastic battery casing. Imagine buying a luxury sports vehicle, and the dealership salesperson tells you that you can only drive it if the sun is shining brightly. If a small gray cloud floats across the sky, your engine might completely explode. Riders were wrapping their shiny new wheels in plastic grocery bags just to safely ride to the grocery store. Picture that image in your head for a second. You look absolutely ridiculous riding down the street on a highly advanced piece of technology wrapped in a recycled kitchen garbage bag. You look like a very fast, very confused person trying to steal a microwave oven from a yard sale. The solution is sitting right here in this new batch. They finally added proper thick rubber seals and reinforced the casings around the battery packs. They redesigned the entire exterior plastic shell so rainwater actually flows away from the sensitive electronics. Now you can ride through a heavy rainstorm and your electric unicycle will not magically turn into a very expensive, incredibly heavy driveway ornament. Next up is the suspension system. An electric unicycle is controlled completely by your own physical body. Your legs act as the steering wheel and your knees are the original shock absorbers. But eventually your knees get old and tired. You want a machine that helps you out? You want working suspension. The problem with the early versions was the metal bracket holding the shock. It was made of cheap, thin metal. You would ride off a tiny sidewalk curb and the metal would physically bend. The suspension would bottom out violently with a terrible metal crunching sound. You hit a small pothole and the shock sends all of that violent kinetic energy straight up your legs, bypassing your knees and going directly into your lower spine. You get off the wheel walking funny, looking like you just fought a professional heavyweight boxer and lost horribly in the first round. I have a French bulldog at home. She has incredibly short little legs, a thick body, and absolutely zero natural athleticism. When she tries to jump off the sofa to get a toy, she just closes her eyes and braces for a terrible impact. She hits the floor sounding like a sack of wet flour dropping from the ceiling. That is exactly what riding the first version felt like. You are just bracing for your own physical destruction every single time you see a crack in the pavement. They solved it by completely redesigning the lower metal linkage. This third run features solid forged aluminum brackets. It is thicker, heavier, and angles the suspension completely differently. When you hit a heavy bump now, the machine actually absorbs the kinetic energy instead of passing it straight to your front teeth. You can ride off a large curb and land smoothly, literally saving you thousands of dollars in emergency dental work and weekly physical therapy appointments. Then we have the tire situation. The original tire they chose at the factory was meant for smooth street pavement, but it had a very strange shape. It was entirely too pointy right down the middle line. The problem was that anytime you tried to ride in a straight line, the wheel wanted to tilt sharply left or tilt sharply right. It was like driving a vehicle with a steering wheel that constantly pulls you directly into oncoming traffic. You could never relax your body. You had to physically fight the heavy machine just to go straight forward. Your ankles would burn in sheer agony after 10 minutes because you were constantly trying to balance a heavy spinning top on a thin tightrope while moving 60 miles per hour. They recognized the terrible mistake and fixed it entirely. This new box contains a completely different tire profile. It has a wider, flatter center. The solution makes the machine completely stable at high speeds. You can finally relax your tired legs and actually enjoy the beautiful scenery, instead of staring directly at the pavement praying you do not hit a small pebble and get launched into outer space. We also have to dive into the pedal dipping issue. This was an absolute nightmare for riders everywhere. When you are going fast and you need to stop, you lean your physical weight backward. That signals the electric motor to brake. The problem was the sensors inside the machine were getting confused under heavy braking. You would lean back to stop, and instead of staying perfectly level, the front of the pedals would dip downward toward the street. Imagine running at full speed trying to stop and your shoes suddenly tilt forward so your toes are violently scraping the concrete. It throws your entire center of gravity completely off balance. People were bailing off their wheels because the machine felt like it was actively trying to throw them face first into a solid brick wall. The solution arrived with this batch in the form of completely rewritten software code and upgraded internal sensors. They adjusted how the machine calculates angles when under heavy braking stress. Now when you lean back to stop, the side pedals stay completely rigid and perfectly flat. You can brake hard in an emergency and actually feel totally safe instead of feeling like you stepped on a slippery banana peel on top of a skateboard. But the absolute biggest, most dangerous issue of all was the main computer motherboard. The electronic brain of the electric unicycle controls exactly how much power goes to the wheel motor. If you lean hard, it sends power to keep you balanced and upright. In the early models, if you rode up a very steep hill, the electronic brain would overheat very quickly. The circuit board would literally cook itself inside the plastic shell, causing tiny stress cracks. Remember that? And I get it, they tried to keep quiet and deny these issues, but when you spend over 5K on a unicycle, you're gonna get inside info.
And it starts to tilt the pedals up. Well, not immediately, of course, but on the 7th lap. And it practically throws me off the wheel. If you're inexperienced, you'll fall off. But truthfully, if you're inexperienced, you wouldn't be riding like that anyway. So if it tilts the pedals like that, you are most likely riding it pretty hard. Yeah. And it tilts the pedals because the motor and wheel are heating up to 160 degrees Celsius. I am the only one who was the first to overheat this unicycle, record a video, and show it to everyone publicly.
When an electric unicycle turns off while you are actively riding it, you do not just roll to a safe stop. You fall flat on your face immediately. Riders were getting violently thrown into the dirt because their machine decided it was time to take an unannounced nap right in the middle of a steep mountain climb. You cannot have a high-speed machine that randomly quits its job without warning. It is exactly like hiring a massive professional bodyguard who screams and runs away the second he hears a loud noise. You are paying thousands of dollars for protection, and you are getting completely abandoned when you need it the absolute most. The solution inside this P6 Pro is massive and beautiful. They added double the cooling fans and a huge chunk of solid metal called a heat sink to pull the extreme heat away from the fragile electronics. They upgraded the entire power delivery system so the computer does not stress out under heavy physical loads. Now you can climb a steep mountain trail and the brain stays completely frozen and hyper-focused. You stay upright, your face stays completely off the concrete, and everybody goes home in one piece. When I step back and look at this entire process, I realize this is not just a video about a piece of technology. It is a much deeper story about patience, resilience, and evolution. We get so incredibly frustrated when things are not absolutely perfect right out of the gate. We demand absolute perfection on the very first try. But nothing in this entire world is perfect on the first try. Not you, not me, and definitely not a $5,000 electric unicycle. We all go through our own bad batches in life. We all have difficult times when we overheat emotionally, or we crack under intense pressure at work, or we lose our balance entirely and fall flat on our faces in front of everyone. The true beauty of life is found in the redesign. It is about taking the harsh criticism, looking closely at exactly where you failed, and building a much stronger version of yourself. I stuck with this specific brand through the awful batches because I truly believe in emotion and in what they were trying to build from the ground up. I knew the raw potential was always there underneath the flaws. That's why I own an Emotion V9, V13, and a P6. Just like you have to firmly believe in your own potential when you are going through a rough patch in your own life. Life is constantly going to throw unexpected potholes and heavy rainstorms right at you. Sometimes you are going to bottom out and hit the floor hard. But if you keep stubbornly upgrading your own internal systems, if you build a stronger shell and much better shock absorbers for your mind, you can ride smoothly through absolutely anything. This third batch machine perfectly represents growth. It represents refusing to quit until the job is done right. I am taking this heavy piece of art and plugging it into the wall right now to charge it up to maximum capacity. Thank you for being here to witness the evolution. I will see you on the trails very soon. I highly recommend all Emotion wheels. And if you want to save money purchasing your first wheel, there is a very special link inside the description for you and your riding partner.
My battery died, so we're here with the P6. Take it out the box now. Move these white clips. Whatcha? Whatcha? There she is, Mrs. P6, Mr. P6. Let me take it out of the box. The pads, which we're not going to use. We actually got some new pads for that. And the new updated tire. So the thing with the tire, they didn't give you the option before, but because so many people were complaining, it became an option. Where you can pick a 90/90 or 80/90. So I do recommend that. But you use the third batch, tell them, hey, put a 90/90 on there before. And we will have more updated videos. Follow me if you want to see more. I'm going to test her out riding her and checking out how the wheel feels and how suspension feels and whatnot. I want the dihedral, so to have those already installed. So those, I see those are all already installed. Yeah, the little silver things right here, and the dihedral. So you look at the pedals, you get them stock first. Do they look uneven? No, so stock it'll come flat, and that's first generation shit. But third batch you can request that you have the dihedral set in 90/90, so right out the box, ready to ride her. I'm gonna go ahead and put this big box up, and I'm gonna go ahead and charge her, top her off with a big brick charger, and then we're going to take her on the road. Until then,